Santee at the Arizona Ghostriders here. We got mail. Santee, can you do one on weddings on the frontier? Rogue Viper. We can do that.
Dearly beloved, we have gathered together.
Yeah, people got married in the Old West. Until the 19th century, folks were largely married for social and economic security. If the groom could provide for the bride and her family and even take them up the social ladder a few rungs, that brought smiles to all their faces. Also, the white wedding was not a huge custom back then. The bride usually wore the best dress she owned, and white was not a practical color, especially out west where paved streets were still a ways off. The groom, in turn, wore his best duds. It was very common to have the ceremony in the home, with just a few people to witness it. However, by the latter half of the century, marrying for love was becoming the norm. Weddings became larger affairs with invitations and custom-made dresses, that is, if the materials and know-how were available. Engagement rings came into vogue, as did adding musicians to the party. Yes, tying the knot started to become big business. They were usually held on weekdays when the local parishioner was free to officiate.
I want to borrow your horse.
For what?
I got some business to take care of.
The celebration after, like today, was full of food, joy, merriment, and probably even a few wedding crashers. Traditions were brought over from many different cultures that populated the frontier. Some ceremonies were major affairs and some subdued. Some secular and some not. I'm sure you've all heard the phrase, something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. The rest of that goes, and a silver sixpence in her shoe. It's a saying from 19th century English folklore and was practiced in America. All items were to bring luck and prosperity to the newlyweds, and the bride had to keep a coin in her shoe during the entire ceremony. Wedding gifts were typically given with practical things the newlyweds could use. A popular one for pioneers was a hand-woven coverlet. But the town folks with the financial means could go hog wild, as shown in this 1888 Montana news clipping.
Say, are you Santee?
Yeah, how can I help you?
Well, I've been looking for you.
Uh-huh.
I'm Deputy Bowling from the Boot Police.
Police?
I've been given the task of hunting down a pair of boots that somebody told me you sold. Dan Silva and Bad Jack J.W.
JW, sure. Look, they stole the boots from me, detective.
They stole the boots from you.
Yeah. I mean, they're my boots, so I took them back. So.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So now you admit that you stole the boots.
No, I didn't steal the boots. Bill Brazelton stole the boots back from me, and they're my boots to begin with. So
Well, who's Brazelton?
He's the ghost of a stagecoach robber from 1878.
A ghost of a stagecoach robber that you know and steals boots for you. I'm just going to have to take you with me because I got psychologists that can deal with this better than I can.
I figured. A charivari was a custom where the wedding attendees would interrupt the recently hitched on their wedding night by playing tricks. These can be as tame as making noise outside the window or as severe as dragging the groom out of bed and taking him miles away on a horse, then making him walk back. I'm not sure why this was allowed to get so ridiculous, but it certainly was entertaining for those doing the charivari-ing. Shivering. Yeah, whatever. So, if you're hankering for an Old West wedding, investigate the Victorian traditions and go hog wild. Don't forget to invite your old pal Santee, although I can't promise Bill Brazelton won't show up.
Until death.
Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. I wore my Canadian tuxedo for the episode on Frontier Weddings. Hey, Santee will be back. I'm not sure when. I saw him going down the street with some guys with badges. I think he's going to share a cell with somebody named Bubba. But don't forget, like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on down the trail. Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. Wore my Canadian tuxedo for the episode on... You made me laugh.